Hi, it's me, Creative Katie Karen Burchill. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, and Pinterest. Just search for Creative Katie and you're sure to find me. If you wish to support my channel, you can shop through my Amazon influencer links or make a direct donation through my PayPal link. Both can be found in the description box below. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, click on the bell, and select the option to be notified as soon as I upload a new video. You won't miss any that way. Today we have a quote journal tutorial. Welcome to my channel. What you're looking at here is my upcycled old happy planner. And if you've watched the last couple of videos, I've shown some ways of getting color and stamping onto these pages, and I'll put the link in the iCards. If you look at the top right hand corner, there's an I there. That is a recommended video that has something to do with what you're seeing here. And you can check those out. But now that some of these pages have color on them, they're in different stages of having color. Some are just gessoed and waiting for more color. This sits off to the side on my desk. And as I'm creating and I have leftover paint or leftover modeling paste, I'm grabbing these pages out, adding some stenciling, modeling paste, using up leftover paint so nothing is wasted. And at the same time, it's basically developing these pages so that when it comes to using these pages, a big part of the job is already done. We have a place to start. And in fact, some of them, you could pretty much, like this one, pretty much call it done. So what am I going to dedicate this journal to? This is going to be my quote journal. No shock to anyone that I love quotes. I've always collected them. I've always found they speak to me, and instead of journaling and writing, that is my way of art journaling, and I'm very inspired by quotes, and it's handy to have them around. And so I thought this would be a great place to compile various quotes that I am finding inspirational. So what I have done is I went through, Pinterest and the quotes that I've collected, and I just have different themes. And as you can see, I have lots and lots and lots of themes. And so I'm just going to pick a theme and find a bunch of those quotes. And what I've done is take them on my Word program and printed them out. Now sometimes I'm going to get a little fancier and play with the fonts like you see here, and sometimes they may be just very straight up plain and ordinary. Variety is the key. But I'm picking a theme, and I'm not sure, I'm not going to dedicate it, say I'm going to do the entire month on this quote, on this theme, because if I'm inspired to do something else, I will. I don't like being overly limited. But when it goes to getting quotes, I find that it's really helpful to have a theme, and that kind of helps focus me and focus my thoughts and my planning, and it's a way of making the creative process speed along a little bit. So my first month or so is going to be on the theme of change. So I printed off a bunch of quotes here that are moved. I have more in my collection, so I may go and get some more if I still am wanting to go on that theme. So one of the main reasons of having this journal off to the side, where it has been partially colorized and stamped and things already done, is to speed up that creative process, because we all don't have all the time couple hours to start and finish a project, but we want to do something in our studio. So if you follow along with this, and it doesn't have to be a happy planner, it doesn't even have to be something that you've repurposed. It can be a brand new mixed media journal. It can be an old notebook, an old address book that you've repurposed. But get it to those stages. Apply paint to some of those, have it on the side, apply gesso to some, so that you have starting points. So you're not starting from the very beginning. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I have my theme, I am going to go through things that I have in my stash, things in my files. I've got buds and birds, you know, I have lots of butterflies and flowers and magazine cutouts, and I'm going to try to use things that I have in my stash that I don't use when I'm creating my canvases now, or some of my art journal pages. Because we all can grab a hold of a magazine, we can get some die cuts of butterflies, and I want to show you how you can make a beautiful art journal page using these simple, easy to access things. So I'm going to go, and now that I have some quotes, I'm going to flip through and see how we can do it. Now, what I'm going to call this is really, it's going to be quick fire quote journal, because the emphasis is on art journaling within a time frame, and whatever that is for you. You don't have to do one page and finish it in the same session. You might find the quote, you might find something. I'm just going to start keeping notes here a little bit, saying, okay, here's my ideas. I'm flipping through, you know, the stash of magazine pictures, going, oh, that will go on this color, or that would be good with this quote. And you're going to get ideas, and if you pull them aside and you know you're going to do lots of pages, you can kind of do that. So what I'm going to do is just cut out these a little bit so I can see the pages, because I'm very visual. I need to see what I'm doing. I need to be able to play with it and manipulate it and basically audition. Now, I know I might be cutting these a little different, but I'm just doing kind of the rough cutting now, so that I can see what happens. So I'm going to do that. You don't need to watch me doing that. And I will come back and we will do one or multiple pages in this quick fire quotes journal. So what I did is I simply pulled out a variety of pictures, a lot of flowers, a lot of butterflies, because that's what I have a lot of in my stash. And I'm going to use some, you know, kind of non-specific, you know, I think these phrases will work with a lot of things. And I just kind of held them up against some of the pages to see size-wise or color-wise, and starting to get ideas of what I might use it for. So I'm just going to put these here. Now, you know, when I start, I pull out, you know, 5 or 6 stencils. I pull out some of my focal points. I pull out way more stuff than what I am going to actually use. It's just part of my process. And I audition all the things. Now, I love, love, love this card. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to gesso that. And I like it that it's black, so I am going to use some black gesso. And I think I'm going to put the words on here. So one of the sentiments that I have. So I'm just going to grab a brush. And I'm putting gesso, I think it's just more opaque. And I kind of want that shine from the magazine to disappear. I don't really, it's not a look I like. So you can alter your So sorting through your magazines might take one idea. And what I did, if I had an idea, I just grabbed my camera and took a picture of it. Memories, you know, aren't as good as what it used to be. So I'm just going to give this a blast. I like it. It's the first time I'm using the Crafters Workshop black gesso, and it's very smooth. And you can see it's just totally taken off that shine on it. So loving that, because that was kind of a fringe benefit. So now that I have that, I'm going to take this and audition it onto backgrounds. So we have the black, so I'm thinking something with the black would work. That has already, you know, with the stenciling on here. And I'm just, you know, I kind of just flip through and hope that it's going to, you know, something's going to gel, something's going to click in my mind. I'm looking for stark contrast. I kind of like the red. So I'm looking at any of the, well, that one's got something in the middle. Do you have any other reds here? You can, if you need that prompt, put a timer. If that's all you have for timing, you know, 15 minutes, and then call it done. I think I'm going to do this one. So the joy of using the Happy Planner is you can just take that out. Everything goes there. And I can decide, you know, if I've got some script here that I don't want to necessarily see, I can do this. And, you know, I have some spots here that did not get paint on them on the gel plate. So I am simply, again, going to just touch that up. Just going to grab what I think is the right color. And fill those in. You can leave it as is. You don't have to fill it in. That's, you know, your own personal decision. Time to put, this on the list of paints to buy some more of. I got some leftover paint there, so I think I'll grab one of those sheets. Now I'm putting a fairly big focal point on here, so I'm not going to, you know, worry too much about the details of that. Basically, we're doing a lot of finishing up. This is a good exercise to practice finishing your projects. So I'm just going, because I have all this excess paint that I globbed out, I'm just going to grab my palette knife and I'm going to apply it on one of these, or I could have done it and grabbed a couple of them. And there we have another sheet that's all got paint on it. Right? Waste nothing. We spend good money on our products, so why would we waste it? And if you have it at the ready, you're more likely to be able to do that. Sometimes I don't because I'm in the middle of a video, but okay, so I'm just going to set that aside to dry. And just do a quick wipe. And I just want a little bit more of the black in the background, so I have grabbed my archival ink and the stamp that I already used on here. And I'm just going to put some just on the outsides now that I know what the focal point is. But I want to put this on before I put the focal point on because it's just easier to do it that way. So there we have it. And I think I'm going to put this quote on here. Life has no remote. Get up and change it yourself. Now, of course, it doesn't fit. And if you've bought my sentiments, and I'll put a link to my sentiment, I'm selling packs of sentiments. These ones are not included. These are brand new. But no matter how they are arranged, you can rearrange it to fit your project, just like this. You can leave it as the rectangle that it's in. You can fussy cut. You can cut them apart as much as you want to fit. I mean, I cannot possibly, I tried to give you different fonts and different sizes so that you have options, but so after playing with it for a while, I've decided that I'm going to do it this way. And I've decided in my journal that I don't mind if I turn it different ways for different quotes. I want to make it fit the page more than anything. So I'm going to I kind of have the idea of putting maybe a gold trim around here, so I want to make sure that I have room for that. It's a gray, I don't think I need the light. It's a gray day here. And my brush had some black gesso in it, so it has So you see the background, the stamping, I came back and I added it. But it did give me an idea. And so it took one decision away. And I'm going over the edge. And I'm putting the gel medium underneath and on top. And I'm being careful not to get where the holes are. You can always go and cut them, but I like to minimize the extra work I have to do. I'm going to dry this and clip off the ends, and we'll be back. So it got a bit muddy. That is because I did not clean my brush before I applied the gel medium. That is what happened there. So that's all on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Sakura Jelly Roll. These are metallic. I love, love, love these. And I'm just going to add a little bit of gold. There's some gold in the background. And again, it's pretty easy. The color scheme is selected, so you know what you're using. You don't have to stop and think about that. Okay. Now, because I do not care about, this is not going to be varnished. This is not going to, you know, I'm not worried about using products that are going to reactivate. This is a woodless charcoal pencil. It is absolutely divine for shading. You just put it on. They come, this one came in a set of 3, soft, medium, and hard, and but there's lots of ways that you can shade, including shading with, you know, floating acrylics that are permanent. I could grab out my Inktense blocks, which will also be permanent in the fine, but just adding that edge, you know, I mean, it's one thing. If you're not sure what a page is missing, try that. And I'm just going to go around here. And I find when I've already buffed this, it doesn't come loose afterwards. You can also use a Stabilo All pencil. You know, so pick and see which one you like. I like different ones at different times. I do like the soft one best. Oh, there it is. I find it works a little faster, and you can sharpen these just with a sharpener that you would do your watercolor pencils in, or different things, which I also like. And we are done. Page 1. Life has no remote. get up and change it yourself. Okay, so I'm simply going to put this back in here, and it's done. And you know, I can put it in the front, I can put it in the back, it doesn't really matter, because in the end I can rearrange it, and I can choose if I want it to go like this, because quite honestly it could go either way, but for now I'm just going to do this. I almost have too many pages in here. So what I'm going to do for now is just take out the gessoed ones, and they're just going to sit on my desk. So I can add paint to them as so now I thought we're going to do another one. I think I have what if that change you're avoiding is the one that give you wings? And I thought, you know, I could go with a butterfly, but you know, I'm sure I'm going to use butterflies. So what I want to do is just try these out. I'm going to audition this on different pages. So I'm looking for a page that has, you know, some blue in it. Because we've got blue in the background here. So, you know, I don't want to have to add anything. So that could work. Oh, that one could work too. It's kind of a different, but we have the definite blue. And I try to put a color, when I'm matching my focal points, I try to get, that could go here and up there. Okay, so we have options. Oh, this one, no. And you know, sometimes you just know right off the bat it's just not going to be what you want it to be. And I'm looking for pages that are more done because I want this to be quick and easy. If I had a little more time, I could start with a plain gessoed page and start from scratch. Well, there's a little bit of blue on there. That kind of brightens that up, huh? There, what do you think? I lost my sentiment. Oh, there it is. So we have, you know, lots of options, more than you would have thought, hey? Well, that has blue in it too. Nope, I don't like that one. So these are my options. We have 1, 2, 3. You know what? I initially I think I picked this one, but now I'm thinking not so much. So I'm going to toss that. You know what, as odd as that is I'm liking this one right here. So now I need to play with the sentiment. And I typically start, and I don't cut off as much as I am going to end up. And I don't cut it apart because sometimes I want to leave it as a shape all together. I can put it this way too. So you kind of have to play with the orientation a bit. I like this background. The reason I chose this background, the blues seem to be really good match. And then you have this brown in the wings of the bird that matches with the colors that are in the background. So these are the things that I look for when I'm matching a pre-done background with a focal point. Okay, so we're just going to start. And this is going to be too big, I know that, so okay. And I find when I line them or shade them that whether they're perfectly straight or not matters less. Now I'm not liking all the white that's there, and that's my usual issue. And you can colorize these, but I don't feel like doing that right now, so. And there is no right or wrong as to how much you take off. It's up to you. So I'm hoping to do this once a week, come on with a video. If you would like me to attempt, I have not done it, doing a live one, maybe, on Facebook, we can, set a time to do that, where we can kind of get together and you can grab your quote journal, your quick fire quote journal, and I can grab mine and we can create together. Okay, I'm thinking this needs to be separated. And again, no right or wrong here. There's only what you do. So again, and I just put them under. Kind of hold it in place. And put this under. So I'd like to see other people joining me with this quotes journal, whether it's a recycled book or not. That is irrelevant. Just, have some pre-done pages or start from scratch and then post them in my Facebook group, Mixed Media Creations. Love to see that, inspire other people. I've been doing a lot of canvases and things to sell, but art journaling is really, it's so freeing and so wonderful. And you get ideas, even color combos, and this is a perfect activity for whatever. And then this can sit on my table, on my desk, and flip a different inspirational saying all the time. And even though I'm doing all on the theme change right now, when they're in my journal, I can mix and match them. I can change them up however I want. There's nothing saying that they have to go all in order. We determine what is going to work for us in our journal. You know, do you have to do change? No, you can do change. You can pick a different theme, a different quote, something that is relevant to you right now. I'm going to watch that. That's what I think, these birds that I got from the magazine Bugs and Blooms, I think it was called. Lots of great butterfly and dragonfly and bird pictures. But I have them all in my stash, so I want to use them. And I've learned just to clean up, take the gel medium a little bit out, and then before you put it in the water. I'm going to dry this, clip this off, and we'll come back and finish it. So this time I'm going to use my Stabilo All Pencil. And the reason for that is because when I go around it like this, and I like to use a round brush with water. It just gets right up close and even underneath the picture, whereas the charcoal pencil doesn't always. And then I just kind of tease it out. I'm going to zoom in here. It's imperfect. It's not going to look like a straight line. I don't like that look, so that's why, you know, I don't like using the fine liner. The micron pens. Just tease it out. If you get it where you don't want it, it comes off with a baby wipe because it is water soluble, so it's very forgiving. Clean your brush every once in a while. You want to get that right out because it does build up and it may make it a little muddier than you want. And I apply one layer and I can always go and may add more. I'm not limited. But again, it's something that, like stamping, like stenciling, like stenciling, not so much stamping, sorry. You want to build it up. Okay, do you notice the difference? I don't want to put it around here because I find, one, I just use very plain copy paper. If I had used a cardstock or some better quality, some of my thicker paper, it takes water better. I just don't want to muddy it up. I want it to stay white. So I'm just going to go around the edges now here because nothing's finished unless it's edged in my world. Be careful where, with this part, you don't want to be too rough with it or put too much water on these ends. Not really liking that, so I'm just going to take that off and I can come back and add more. So if you're a beginner doing this, I'm really liking that edging. Finishing up these, doing the quote journals on here is a great practice for finishing on your pages. You get lots of practice. And I'm going to zoom out. Now I'm not sure if I want to add something to this or not. Indecision. And again, it's an individual choice. Do you need to add stuff? Do you... These are my fine line bottles. I love, love, love them. Highly recommend. You know, and again, I've done so much outlining with them. That it looks easy, but it does take a little bit of practice. You got to develop that, but you don't need much pressure. If you're finding you're having to squeeze too hard, maybe alter the consistency of the paint. Maybe you have it too thick. You can do this with a fine line micron pen if that's you prefer, if that works better for you. And dry it before you start moving it around. Oops, and then what we're going to do is simply we'll add it to the front for now. And I'll see you for the next quick fire quote journal page.